Hello, everybody. Excited Utterance here. My name is Hella, and here we have another interview and live court hearing with Ty Tucker and his amazing wife, Lauren Jenai. So, without further ado, let's bring them onto the stage. Here we are. Hello, Ty. Oh, I need to make sure you're all unmuted. Make sure everyone can be heard. Can everyone be heard? Oh,
Good.
go. Yes,
Oh,
yes,
no,
everyone can be
still.
heard.
Yep.
Welcome, Ty, Lauren, and of course my lovely co-host, Dali.
How's it going, guys?
Another big day in court.
Yeah, I had to go
Yes.
last, but man, it was well worth the wait. So,
I heard you were waiting all day.
yeah, he did that to us once before, but I mean, this one we weren't really scheduled on the docket. He threw it on there just so that he could tell us whether or not he was going to be the judge. And drum roll, yep, he's going to be the judge. So, he decided he's not going to disqualify himself. So, and we have an actual trial date. Our new trial date is September 5th.
Really?
But given the new judge, and I don't think, man, they're going to make it that far. We'll see. We'll actually have to see. But he was actually really nice today. He was really cool with me today, and everything kind of went our way. This, as far for once, So I'm feeling pretty good. I don't get too many good days, So,
you haven't had a lot of victories.
Yeah.
That's huge news. Okay, well, hey Becca Lynn, good to have you here, and I'm glad you're feeling a bit better. You had a bit of a headache earlier. So thank you for everything you've done again to bring these two wonderful people to us. Okay, so that's huge news. A few big things that have just been announced in the first 2 minutes of us going live. So let's just recap that. And again, welcome to Lauren and to Ty. Welcome back. This is your fourth time with us now. So we have a trial date. Again, let's hope it doesn't get that far. But could you please say again what that trial date is?
Trial date's September 5th. So September 5th, and it's supposed to run through the 20th, I think, is the idea.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Have a big trial date. Okay. And the other bit of news was what?
Oh, the judge. We have a judge officially now. So he's not going to disqualify himself. He actually made it a point to tell me that he's beyond me disqualifying him, at least legit right at the moment. Which I didn't want to disqualify him anyway, so we're good, So
yeah.
Okay, and what's his name, please?
That would be James Morgan, Judge Jimmy Morgan. So you can't really go wrong. He likes to call himself Jimmy outside of court, so man, I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah,
I like that he's a little less formal. Inside of court, he's fairly formal, but I think he's just started looking at the motions, and I think he's just starting to realize the magnitude of what he's fighting off here. But
this is no small one. Okay, so we have a judge. His name's James Morgan, and you're pleased about that, correct?
Oh, I'm very pleased. Yeah, very pleased. I think he's the best chance I have down there, to be honest. The other judges I know of down there, we've got Garcia. Garcia is a straight up hanging judge. He's one of the few judges I've ever seen actually take a plea deal and make, not grant the plea deal, that the state and the defense came up with, and tell him, nope, the guy needs more time, and man, freaking, go back and man, come back with me with more time, so he's not exactly somebody I would like to be in front of. And then we have the other one is Judge Wilson, and Judge Wilson is a former prosecutor, so he's another one that from the state attorney's office. So I wouldn't be thrilled at going in front of him either.
No.
So I mean, this guy, he's a new judge. I think he wants to actually do it the right way. Definitely if you guys look at the video today, unfortunately, from what I've heard, you can't hear me again. But
you're a bit of a boomer when it comes to recording Zoom.
I said to man, because I said to the judge, I was like, look, we can't even start talking about trial dates until we deal with the misconduct from the last trial. Because these guys lied to the jury on national TV, and we can't go into a trial like that. So and then Mansfield was like, it's like
on his second lunch.
He looked like he was about to choke. So
Okay, so let's talk about that, because last stream we talked a bit about how this hearing, 16th of April, was going to be a big one because you were going to be putting forth your response to the state regarding misconduct by
yeah, I did put it in, and I
skaters.
think
Yes.
you guys got a copy of it.
We do
Yeah, I got
indeed. Let's have a bit of a look at that, shall we? Let's go. Yep. So, Dali, you have control of this?
Yes. So where would you like me to start at the beginning, or?
You can go anywhere in there. It's not, none of it's good for them. So it's like, I mean, you can go anywhere you want in there. But I mean, you know, the summary basically sums it up, but it's like, you know, I do have a motion to dismiss that I've been working on. You guys know about that already.
Yeah. Yes.
But I can't file that until I have official transcripts, or until I have, you know, the actual evidence, man, you know, because the transcripts are, the official transcripts are evidence, you know.
You need them.
So I can't really file that until I have those. Right. So that motion makes this look like nothing. I mean, this is like, just, you know, that's kind of what my point is to the judge here. I'm like, okay, these guys, they ended the trial by lying to the jury. Right. And, you know, yeah, I mean, that's enough to get them disbarred right off the bat. Right.
And you mentioned that.
But then they come back, and in this motion in limine, which is what I'm responding to, they immediately come back and try and lie to the judge. And they're talking about evidence tampering, how there's been no tampered with evidence. And it's like, come on now, you know, my video didn't cut itself up into 80 pieces. It didn't, that's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? So by him lying blatantly like that, it just made it horrible. I mean, it's like, okay, you just made it easy for me, basically. So, you know, it's like what I basically am saying in the response is, given those two things, you know, this prosecution refuses to be honest. They refuse to run an honest case, and if they can't do that, then they shouldn't be allowed to prosecute me. It's that simple, you know. And he does have the power, and this is what I'm asking the judge to do in the response. I ask him to use his discretion, his judicial discretion, and in the best interest of justice, vacate the case, get rid of it. You know, because because they can't be honest. If they're going to lie, man, then, you know, what's the point? There's no justice if they're going in there with lies and, man, trying to lie to the jury to convict me. You know,
yeah, he has the audacity to think he can just rush this case back to trial, foregoing any sanctions or relief the court would deem necessary to ensure this behavior is not recurrent.
Yep. Well, and man, what's funny is actually today when you watch that video, first thing Mansfield did when we got the new dates, because the judge started talking about dates in September, and Mansfield's up there going, "Well, Your Honor, we would like to get something a little faster if we can." And it was really pathetic. It really was. It was like, come on, man. You know, you're not getting out of this. I know you want to, but man, you know, no, you're not. You know, everybody saw what you did. You know, so you're not getting out of it.
Is there a summary on this?
The summary is at the very beginning. I mean, you know, when he was reading it, you know, that very beginning is the summary.
Okay, so that's in the hearing, so we could just skip to the hearing.
Basically, it's summarized. Anytime you do a motion, basically the motion is summarized in the very first paragraph. You know, very first part of it.
Dolly, would
it's
you
a little
like
longer
to do
than a paragraph on this one, but yeah.
Sure, yeah. Comes now. Pro se defendant Franklin Tyrone Tucker, hereinafter Tucker, files this response in opposition to the state's motion in limine. As their stated causes are neither factual nor does the state attorney give a sufficient legal argument to warrant granting such an order. The defense would argue that the court made significant errors at trial, including not allowing the defense to inquire about the investigation, the tampering with evidence, or the misconduct committed by the state attorney, Dennis Ward, hereinafter Ward, members of the state's attorney office, hereinafter SAO, members of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, hereinafter MCSO, Rick Ramsey, hereinafter Ramsey, and even the Honorable Judge Mark H. Jones, hereinafter Jones, throughout the entirety of this case. And then furthermore, Mr. Ward has yet to even reconcile the gross misconduct committed by his assistants at trial. Those actions were more than enough to warrant ASA Joseph Mansfield, hereinafter Mansfield, ASA David Alvarez, here and after Alvarez, and Mr. Ward to all be disbarred from the practice of law.
I didn't. Hey, I'm not pulling punches. You know?
No.
Don't you like it better in Dali's voice, though?
Yeah, no, I like the way he's reading it. It's like it sounds better when somebody else is. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. So just before we get into the hearing, did the judge actually read all this and go through it and respond to it?
No, he hasn't gone through this yet, right?
Okay.
Matter of fact, I still have exhibits that I have to post up tonight to the court.
I was wondering.
The exhibits on this thing are. It's funny because this to me is a short motion, or it's not even a motion; it's a response. To me, this is short because I've been working on that long one, right?
Yeah.
But even this one has. I went through the entire alphabet as far as exhibits, and I started getting into like A1, B1, that kind of thing. Because I actually went through the entire alphabet. Because that's the thing is, that's why it was so stupid of them to lie about this. Because what they were asking for in that motion in limine is they were asking that I not be allowed to mention or bring up, evidence tampering in front of the jury. And it's like, and then he, flat out denies that it happened. And it's like, okay, we know for a fact it happened. So do they. And it's like, again, my interview tape is it's cut up into like 80 different pieces with sections missing. That didn't happen by accident. That's just one example. And then farther down in this response, I bring up the, Rory Wilson trial. Rory Wilson explains what happened during the 3 minutes that were missing in his video, at his trial. Right. So, he explained, who tampered with the evidence at that point. Right. But again, it was still done. And to say that it didn't happen, it's like, okay, who are you trying to kid? But what's more important is at the end of this, okay, the reason why they're doing it, right? And the reason why they don't want evidence tampering coming up is because, okay, at the end of this response, I bring up, again, Detective Pitcher's testimony was pretty powerful here. And Lauren can agree with me on this one, as far as what happened with the evidence tampering, because it leads right back to the state attorney's office, right back to their door. He put it squarely on their feet, right? So, he hasn't dealt with that. He hasn't investigated it. He hasn't done anything with it. The MCSO is refusing to investigate it. So my answer to that is to subpoena both of them for their IT, their IT departments. Subpoena both of them, man, and get the records. Because,
But Ty, we also have. I mean, it's crazy that they would cite in their motion Tom Walker's internal affairs investigation, where it's saying things were mishandled.
Yep.
And then also we have the letter from the sheriff to the state attorney's office saying we're very uncomfortable with how we found evidence to be had been found in your office.
Yeah. Well, and it disappeared from theirs.
Right.
Like, okay, because the MCSO had videos and stuff like that disappeared. Right. They actually had to recover them from the state attorney's office, which that totally breaks the chain of custody. Right. Chain of custody, again, everything is supposed to be at the sheriff's office, right? All the evidence stays there, the raw evidence. It doesn't matter whether it's physical, digital, any evidence there is, it stays there. They get the originals. They give copies to the state attorney. That way, if there is evidence tampering, if somebody makes a claim of tampering, well, then you can compare the two and Manfred can see if it's actually happened, right? But by them having those files deleted or not entered in at the sheriff's office and then getting them for the copies from the state attorney, they could have done anything they wanted with them, So it's definitely a problem. But Pitcher's testimony is even more problematic because, okay, what he says in his deposition, this is why, man, okay, we got a gag order right after Pitcher's deposition. And this is why. Because, okay, what he says is that, the access that he gave to Colleen Dunn, first off, asked for it. But the access he gave to her, we have a message that says it went to other people in the state attorney's office besides her, right? So it's been used on other people's cases. We know this because Pitcher says that access was good for more than just my case. Now, we know videos went missing and we know videos got edited on my case. So now, okay, how many cases in the county did they do it to?
Well, that's problematic.
That is problematic. And, man, that's what they're trying to hide. That's why the sheriff's department won't investigate it, and neither will the state attorney's office. So, okay, fine. I'll hit you with
I can see why they wouldn't investigate it anyway. But like that opens a whole Pandora's box.
Oh,
So
it does. It does.
yeah.
It's just, man, I mean, but that's the thing is, okay, he's trying to avoid that now, but basically by trying to avoid it by denying it exists, well, man, I can prove it exists all day. You know what I mean? That was stupid. You know,
Yeah.
you just, man, literally opened the door for me, you know? So whatever.
Okay, so Pitcher was the lead detective.
Yeah. Pitcher was the lead detective.
Yeah. And Don, yeah, former assistant attorney, sorry, what's that, assistant SA?
Assistant state attorney.
State attorney, correct. Yep. Yeah, okay.
And she was the one that was suspended for ethics violations.
Yep.
Ethics violations.
Oh, man. She would have, okay, if it hadn't been for Judge Jones, Lauren and her last complaint against Dunn would have taken her license permanently. I believe she would have lost her license permanently. You know,
Okay.
she got saved by Judge Jones.
Goodness me, Colleen Dunn was the original lead prosecutor on the case. She was suspended for ethics violations. Yeah. She was the one that was just suspended. Phelps was the one who lost her job, wasn't she?
Yeah, she lost her job, but Dunn should never be an attorney again, not my opinion. You know,
But so many people who have either gone or been like sanctioned in some way. Okay, let's have a look at this.
Lauren and I got a good record that way. We knock them out, you know, straight up.
Well, let's see what else can happen from here. But most importantly, let's get you off the hook, okay? All right. So yeah, exactly. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Next round.
Next round.
They've been, in my mind, full-throated. They've been accurate.
What are you talking
They've
about?
been as detailed as I could make them. Now,
he's talking about all his disclosures that he made.
Wish to move to disqualify me, that is your choice, but the time period has frankly passed. Motion to disqualify me at this point, based on the disclosures that I've made, would be untimely. And so, what that means, sir, is that I'm going to stay on this case, which means over the course of the next few days and weeks, I'm going to review the great number of motions that you have filed, and I'm going to begin setting those for hearings. So stay close to your email, because you'll be receiving emails that will be to you, either to Mr. Mansfield. Mr. Mansfield, are you directly prosecuting this case? Are you the lead prosecutor?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
My judicial assistant, I will instruct her. She will, upon me reviewing these motions and trying to determine how much time is needed, if it's something short that maybe I have a question about before we set it, we'll set it for a short hearing. But it is more likely that these motions, based on my very brief review, are a little bit more substantive in nature. They're going to require us to take some time. Mr. Tucker, I'm aware that you've been appearing via Zoom, that you may wish to travel in order to litigate these motions, meaning you may wish to be here in Marathon, Florida for open court. Again, you may wish to be, and I may order that you be here, depending upon the nature of the motions. You have to understand, sir, up until now, I have purposefully not made any rulings in any portion of your case, because I wanted to get past this issue of either my recusal or your request or motion to disqualify. It seems as though we are past that. Now action will begin from my perspective on your case. You understand that?
Want to talk?
Yeah, what I told him there is basically, you know, I understand, and you know, I appreciate it, and you know that.
It would make sense for us to basically carve out an entire day.
This is what I like. What he wants to do is he wants to take any motions that we have to go to a hearing for, pull them all into one day, so I only have to go out there, fly out there once, and man, take care of it, and then come back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
all right.
I thought that was pretty cool.
You can only see this here, guys. We we get tight.
You're only going to get the narrative man version, man, while I'm here.
Yeah, otherwise you have to make it up.
No, the other thing I think I did point out to him, something else I pointed out to him, but man, you know, we'll have to see, man, you know, because I know I pointed out a few things, you know, but I did bring up, like I said, I did bring up them lying at trial, so you know, that comes up.
All right, let's keep going.
Mr. Mansfield can plan a trip up here and be here, you do your trip here, and we all be in person. We take one full day to litigate the matters, and then we can have resolution perhaps on some or all of them. Okay, so just again, like I said, I'm staying on the case. I do not believe, based on all of the research that I've done, that I'm required to recuse myself. I have clearly said that I believe it is my duty to make those disclosures. I've made them as clear as I can. And so stand by, be checking your email, because over the course of the next 2 weeks or so, you will be receiving communications from my judicial assistant indicating to you.
Pause. What were you saying then?
Oh, he was just saying, no, I was, I brought up here, this is what I brought up. I brought up here that the last round of motions and notices that the state sent, they didn't send to me. They're required to, but they didn't. And that's what because he was talking about going through Mansfield, and I'm like, well, if this is the case, then, you got, I didn't even accuse him. I was like, look, I didn't get the last round of motions. The only reason I saw them is I saw them on the clerk's, Quirk site. But if we're going to do that, I know Mr. Mansfield did have my email. They were sending me things, so they should be able to do it now.
Okay.
It's basically what I told them, so just reminding them. And then now apparently they do give out my email in here somewhere. I mean, I didn't even think about that when I posted this up, but I guess everybody's got my email now. So
it's at 9 minutes, I believe. So we can, let's just watch out for the timestamp at the bottom, guys.
I'm not even too worried about it, man. Hell, I don't get too much hate mail these days, so.
Hang on, we're just watching you. That was what you were saying there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying there. I'm just reminding them about the email.
Yeah, there. This is working out so well. Check it.
I can't lip sync myself though.
Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. This is funny.
What's pretty good?
Do you like Milli Vanilli?
Yeah. Okay, now that is a really old reference. You are showing your age there.
Oh, I know. Don't get me wrong. I'm showing my age all over the place nowadays.
Baby. Don't forget.
Judge, the motions I filed were all electronically filed. I believe his
he's
email
coming up with his excuses why he didn't send them.
Assigned to this case. So I don't know why emails would not have gone out to him when we electronically file things. The attorney of record for the opposing side is emailed. So I don't know. I don't know why he wouldn't have gotten them. But and Judge, there's one motion in particular. I think both sides want transcripts from the trial. And I'm concerned that that's a lengthy process. If Your Honor, I don't think there's going to be any opposition from either party to get those started. So
go ahead, Gabriel.
If Your Honor is inclined, we could at least, you could maybe make a ruling from Chambers on that, and we could get that process started, because I think that's going to be a big chunk of time before we can get those in.
Okay. If you recall the last.
What are you saying?
Look, he just wants the transcripts. I want the transcripts, but even the judge said it's probably going to take weeks before we get them. So, and he doesn't think they're under an obligation to give them to us. So what his solution is he may just give us the tapes from the hearing. I mean, not from the hearing, from the trial. Give us the actual trial tapes, and then it's up to us to go ahead and have them transcribed by somebody else.
So you have to pay for them, though.
Well, I'd have to pay to have them transcribed if I do it through a professional transcriber, but I happen to know a few people who might be able to do that. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Really?
So
hopefully.
But,
yeah, that shit's expensive.
Well, and man, don't get me wrong, that's what Mansfield was trying to do to me with one of the motions he put in. Is okay. What they tried to do is they went back on their motion was it the motion to get the transcriptions, and they filed a supplemental saying that they only wanted my testimony and Travis's testimony, when Travis was on the stand, right? That's all they wanted, right? So they didn't want any of the other parts of the transcripts, right? And knowing that my motion is in there asking for all of them right now, right? So what he was going to do is, he gets those two, and then he would, then I'd be obligated to give him the rest after I paid for the rest of them.
Yeah.
Right. And Lauren can tell you how much transcripts cost, man, because transcripts, they're not cheap.
But $5 a page?
Oh, man.
I don't know per page, but they're expensive.
How much was Roy Wilson's trial? Like 10 grand, something like that?
I'm in
To
denial.
get all the transcripts from Roy Wilson's trial, something like that. She's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know.
Oh, the Zachariah Anderson trial was $10,000.
Yeah,
you had to pay
something like
$10,000 to just get the transcripts to file an appeal.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
This judge was saying that, well, different. Is it a different state? Different state.
Different state, but
in Florida, that in appeal, I think they are obligated to.
They are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If this was an actual appeal, that's why they go into that a little bit later. But if it was an appeal, then man, they would have to give me the transcripts, and they'd have to give them to Mansfield too. But since it's a retrial and not an appeal, there's they couldn't find any solid case law or solid man law on this.
All right. So just because they're having another go at you, you have to pay
pretty
for
much. It's not too many people that get another go at,
Yeah.
Yeah, a non-lawyer beat a lawyer in a murder trial.
Yeah.
So now you have to pay.
Hey, I'm just a boy from the boatyard. That's all. It is what it is.
Unbelievable.
The dancing monkey.
All right. Let's keep going.
So for the both of you, if you recall, the first time I called this case, we had talked about 5 or 6 different issues. One of those was these transcripts, and I'd asked Mr. Mansfield if he was aware of any authority or anything at all that said that the clerk of court or the court reporters were required to give a transcript or to make a transcript. You see, I've been told they don't have a transcript. I've been told they have all of the recording. I've been told they will gladly provide to both of you the same recordings, and that you can use the resources within the state, the state attorney's office or however you get that done, and that Mr. Tucker can use whatever resources he has to get that done, to create transcripts of the original proceedings. And I'm sympathetic in some ways. I understand that you would want the transcripts, but I'm not so sure the clerk of court is required to make transcripts unless the case is on appeal. And you need to request them from court admin.
What you saying?
I said the same thing, basically, that I hadn't found anything that, anything that says we couldn't, that we could, I found nothing either way. I just know that we have gotten transcripts before. I didn't mention how much they cost, but I did mention to them that we gotten them before. But as whether or not they're required to give them, folks, I couldn't tell them.
I know.
Yeah.
Look, I respect. I understand. I understand precisely why you want them. I understand.
I don't know. I'm the dancing monkey, is what I'm saying. That's it. I don't know.
This is a load of bollocks, Judge. What am I supposed to do, Judge? Am I supposed to be found guilty and then wait for an appeal?
I have no problem
There we go.
This moment ordering, court admin or figuring out a way for both of you to have equal access to obtain copies of all trial proceedings. I have no issues with that. But again, I've only been told that they don't have transcripts. This isn't something that, not like we have transcripts that are sitting on someone's desk waiting and we're just not giving them to anyone. That's a product that would have to be created. And when I learned of that information, I just thought to myself, well, I'm not aware of a rule that requires any transcript to be made of a mistrial. So I just wanted to know if there was some authority or precedent for this. That was all. I haven't been presented that. So you all be thinking about that. I have so much to do. Go ahead, Mr. Mansfield.
No, I was just going to say, and I couldn't find an actual authority that addressed these particular facts. I mean, everything I found was obviously when it's up for a direct appeal. So that's fine. If we get audio, then we will find a way to get them transcribed. I do want to. My assistant just popped in and she wants to confirm.
She gave me my second lunch
email address to make sure.
My email address.
Right one. So,
920.
Mr. Tucker, if you can give us your email address, we can confirm it.
Just make sure to pause at 9:20 or before.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Yeah, me
Like I said, man, I haven't been getting much hate mail, these days. And if you're going to send pictures, make sure you send good ones.
STYES?
Mute now.
Hang
Or
on, I'll
skip for-
just mute it.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
And Sal can sing over it. Oh, Sal's got a voice, huh?
No. But I'm too sexy for my shirt. I'm too sexy for my shoes.
There you go. That's what's up.
There we go. And blah, 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 blah. They haven't got it right anyway.
Too sexy
Okay.
for your court. Too sexy for your court.
Okay, let's go and back. Keep going. Should be right now. You're talking about nothing. Do you know what we're talking about?
Like,
Just
I
the
don't know.
email address. That
Yeah,
was
that's
it.
the email that's in there. I don't know why. I don't know. And that's why you're not getting them, but we'll get them to you.
all right. Well, anyway.
Like I
this
said,
is
I
what-
wasn't even accusing
Let
him.
you know that work will begin on myself reviewing the motions again. The time has expired for the defendant to move to disqualify the court and the sitting judge. So he's not set for any other court dates. So, Mr. Tucker, I'm going to share on my screen the dates that I have coming up for all felony matters.
My dog's
Now
not
you got a
happy.
chance to bust out the schedule.
Oh,
Let's see if that shows up. Okay, you can see there in court, it does show up. And so it should be on your screen now. So here's what I have. So let's recall, here's what we have. We have pursuant to those rules of criminal procedure, the court was required within a certain time period to conduct the retrial of your case. I asked you several questions about that. You've affirmatively waived any quote unquote speedy trial obligation or rule or constraint. You affirmatively had requested a continuance. You had indicated that you wish to engage in some motion practice. Of course, you both wish to obtain transcripts, and there's still some, but potentially more than I had predicted litigation that's going to occur between now and the retrial. So we had indicated that it is more likely that this case will be tried in the second half of 2024, but it is my goal. And I wanted to let you all know of the date that I have penciled this case in for now, so that you can advise me as to whether or not these dates work. I've just completed my calendar, and I have set aside
So if you notice that calendar,
Mhm.
he's not giving us much time. Like as far as
No.
a trial, if you look at those dates, it's like, oh no. I told him, I do tell him somewhere, as we go here, that
Yeah.
look, I only had 2 witnesses
Yeah.
last time and it went 10 days. So, and I plan on bringing my full boat of witnesses if we're going back to trial. So
Yeah, because the
Oh,
judge cuts you off.
Yeah, okay. So I see things the other way around, because I'm always like, because American dates are always the other way around to me. So this is 3rd of the 6th, so June.
3rd.
June 3rd.
Through
yeah, I
7th.
definitely wasn't going for those April dates. Screw that.
That's
That'd be-
April. Oh my God, that's April.
No, I'm not going for a couple days.
Well, isn't
Okay.
there's a docket sounding on the 17th? That's what I
Right.
see on the court website.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yep.
they were putting it forth for June. Right. So you managed to get September.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because I said that to him. I was like, look, I said that to him at one of the other hearings too. It's like, okay, I didn't get to put on my full defense last time, and putting on a full defense is going to take more time, and it took 10 days. Now, don't get me wrong. I think we're going to be a little more streamlined this time because it's not going to be new for me,
Yeah.
like it was last time. And I'm sure, the state's got their case, man. They're going to streamline theirs too. But at
Yeah.
the same time, man, it's like, I have a lot more coming this time than I did last
Yes.
time. So yeah,
it's it's not new to you, but you have witnesses this time that you didn't have before, so it's a
Yep.
whole different game, really.
Oh, the judge barely let you testify last time. You had to remind the judge
yep,
you wanted to testify after he cut you off and went to closing.
yep,
It was
yeah,
There's that.
insane.
There's that.
yep.
Yeah.
No, that whole thing was insane. I was actually looking at that just this morning. So I definitely don't like looking back on those moments. They sucked.
Yeah, I'm sure.
September's going to creep up really, really fast.
Oh yeah.
That's I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I mean, another continuance could happen.
Well, I mean, and look, the thing is he said the same thing. He says, man, you know, again, he's not saying this is a very loose date, but at the same time, he realizes there are things that have to be taken care of before we get to trial, especially when I brought up some of the things that do need to be taken care of. So we'll see.
Alpha Fox.
I don't think the state will be
as paternal.
Oh,
do you think they were paternal the first time?
No, actually, I don't. You know, shit.
No,
like, I don't know how paternal they were because, man, they were kind of nasty. Mansfield makes all those little baby man freaking remarks, man. You know, like remember the threatening glance and the, you know, was it the one at the end of trial when he was kind of trying to complain, he's getting death threats, and you know, somebody gave out his phone number, and you know, I got an idea who, I actually have his phone number. If I did, I'd be calling it all day. You know, but the thing is like, yeah. You know, so he makes comments like that, but those are shots, man. You know, they're definitely trying to influence the jury or trying to influence the judge or whatever. But he does that crap all the time.
I have seen many pro se litigants in trial, and I have seen the prosecutors baby them and go out of their way to protect them.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they treated you like you were a lawyer, like they were scared. And they really pulled out all the stops to try to get a conviction.
I think they were scared. I mean,
well, I mean, obviously they were scared, or else they wouldn't have done what they did at the end, right? I mean, they saved that till the rebuttal when they really went after the lies. They saved that till the very end when they knew I wasn't going to be able to, man, respond to it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I came back in the next day with the video, man, proving it. But at the same time, it was like that was some dirty shit right there. You know, and I could see where they probably do that with other lawyers. I mean, I'm sure they do it all the time, you know, but I wasn't going to let it slide. That's for sure.
Yeah. State was very helpful in limiting objections, giving more leeway. I don't know, Alpha Fox. And I appreciate your point of view, actually. I know Alpha Fox, and I've seen, I've watched trials with Alpha Fox before. So I'm interested to hear your point of view. But I also agree with Dali. Like I've watched pro se defendants in different states as well, and they do tend to baby pro se defendants, and didn't see it so much in this one. I saw them sort of pretending to, kind of, but doing it in a kind of a passive aggressive sort of way.
Well, to me, man, actually, to be honest, I get kind of offended when they try and do that kind of crap. It's like, look, it's like if I don't understand something, I'll ask, you know.
Yeah.
But don't
bullies.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it can be taken in different ways, can't it, Lauren?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess sometimes. So, Darryl Brooks, case in point. Yeah, case in point. So, exactly, Becca. So
I hate the fact that, man, I was compared to Darryl Brooks, man. I really, or Darnell. Sorry, Darnell Brooks. You know,
capital letters.
God, after I actually saw the guy, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, no, not the same level as Darryl Brooks at all. No, not at all. Not at all. You are not him. That man was.
I watched some of his shit, and I was just like, man. I mean, when he built that little fort of boxes,
Fort Brooks.
Like, man, what the hell are you doing, dude?
Gone but never forgotten.
You know, rounds. It's just like, dude. You know, I mean. Yeah, there are other objections besides grounds, by the way, man. If we can at least learn how to use it, you know, if you're gonna.
That guy was clearly playing.
He was out. He was asking for coffee.
Well, and then the whole sovereign citizen thing. It was like, come on, dude. You know, really, you think that's going to work? You know, I mean, you really honestly think that's going to work?
Exactly. And it's a shame. Like, it's a shame that you get compared to someone like that, because that man, there was just so, there's video of him doing it. Like,
Right.
it was so obvious. And
Although I'll
it
tell
was
you what,
just,
man, he had a hot judge. He really did. I would have been
Sloppy judge.
distracted all day.
okay. But he was
Yes,
just,
Your Honor.
he was having it on. Like, he was just having it on. He was having his time in front of the camera. And then because that happened and then you happened, people
Yeah.
compared, and it's just not the same thing at all. Like, uh,
Look, I mean,
there
I
was
know I
there was
wasn't
no
perfect,
evidence
but
against
man, I'm not building me a
him.
fort and when I come into court either.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
please build a fort.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
let's keep watching.
I also think it also makes a difference, by the way, that Darnell Brooks was guilty as hell.
Oh,
You
that's
know what
true.
I'm saying? So I mean, that does make that makes kind of a bit of a difference.
Sure.
I mean, one of my biggest strengths in the whole freaking thing has been, that look, I know I didn't do it, and man, if you know you didn't do it, you can walk in there with an attitude a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I am angry, and I always will. I'll be angry till this is over.
Hmm.
Well,
So,
I imagine.
I understand. You will be angry.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be
Okay,
nice when I
let's keep
finally
watching.
don't have to be angry anymore.
That would be lovely. And we're going to have a party that day. You're going
Yeah.
to come on and we're not going to be talking about any of this stuff anymore. We're just going to have a chill session. That's what's going to happen.
I'm down for that.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's go.
Especially if we're coming to your place.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have beers and a barbecue.
Oh, yeah, man. I hear you got good beer there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, man, what are they doing? Oh,
Yes,
we're
sir,
still
but
talking
I'm
about
looking
trial
at a different
times and stuff.
calendar right now that I'm not sharing. I wanted to at least gauge your availability for trial in September of 2024. Now, likely trial would occur between September 9th through the 20th. So that would be a 10-day trial period. And my hope would be to pick the jury the week before at some point. So we would actually meaningfully start trial on Monday, September 9th. I at least wanted you all to know that that's a time period that I had identified. I can move a few things around to do another day, but Mr. Mansfield, if you have any input, looking at your calendar, it's going to be trial starting sometime that first week of September, but the substantive portion of the trial would begin on September 9th and go through the 20th. Do you have any sense as to whether or not those dates would work for the state?
Here comes
Judge, they'll
Pathetic.
work. Is there anything sooner than that the court would be able to accommodate something earlier?
He thinks
than
you're talking about
September?
lunch.
Can we get anything sooner,
Maybe.
Your Honor?
Let's ask Mr. Tucker. Mr. Tucker, if I were to set this case for trial in August, would you be prepared?
My answer was, yeah, I'll be prepared, but this is when I go into, but there's things we have to take care of before we get there. So, I'm not even sure how we're picking dates at this point. It's basically what I told him. I think this is where I bust out the misconduct at the, as far as telling lies to the jury. I don't know, but, somewhere in there. Cause it's like, this guy doesn't really, he comes back at me with, well, unless there's, something outrageous that happens, I don't see us moving the trial date, if it's in September or whatever. Right. And I was like, oh, outrageous. Your Honor, you haven't looked at all the stuff from the case yet. This case has had lots of outrageous,
Okay.
So.
I suppose, but from his point of view, like, he just needs to move forward with his.
Look, to be honest, how many people have actually seen a case like this one? It's like,
as long as I'm needed for trial.
Yeah.
Shit, if it wasn't my life, I wouldn't believe it.
No.
Yeah.
No. You got to write a book after this, dude.
Yep. Oh, I remember telling Lauren, man, many times I've been like, when this is over, somebody please tell me what the hell happened. Straight up.
Mansfield, I could potentially have some availability in August. I do have some dates that I can move around. But I wouldn't say I completely agree with Mr. Tucker, but I will say that there are a number of issues that we need to iron out.
Okay.
Transcripts being the first one, those are gonna take several weeks. Even if you were to get the audio, this week or next, I mean, that's gonna take 3 or 4 weeks at a minimum to get transcripts. That's probably, and that was what, 13, 14 days of trial.
Where's Mansfield's Gatorade?
Well,
I wish I could see his
I'm going
face.
to tell you that
I know, right?
absent some extraordinary issue, we will not be trying this case after September. Okay. I've proposed what I think is a reasonable amount of time based upon what you relayed to me.
This is where I tell him about the extraordinary things. We got lots of those.
See this document?
Yeah.
Have you looked at it yet?
Well, he
sir?
hasn't read my response yet, man. So wait till he reads that whole thing, because boy, that's gonna be a hell of a judgment call for him. I actually don't envy him having to make that decision.
It's going to put him in a tough situation. Although he's supposed to be completely unbiased, so
Welcome to the party.
yeah, enjoy.
Yep.
Hang on, why can't we hear Mansfield?
Judge, are we
Here
going to rehash the trial at this moment in time? Because
See, he doesn't like what I just said about the about them lying.
Wait, what did you just say? Wait, what did you just say?
I said, man, that's what I brought up them lying to the jury, and man, he's like, "Are we going to rehash the trial at this point?"
Okay.
Oh, you think you're going to get away with lying again?
You've got to fix it. You're recording. We just missed the spicy bit.
Yep. He's he's like, let's see what he says. He says like state could say some things on this issue, this issue as well. Like I actually lied to the jury. Yeah, I barely got a chance to talk. So hey, go for it.
He's
I didn't
snacking
think
back.
Your Honor wanted to get into this today.
What do you say?
Oh, I'm just saying, I'm sure he doesn't, but man, I'm just letting him know. That's all I was saying.
Just letting you know.
Just making you aware.
Okay, Mr. Tucker, I'm here to tell you. For now, I'm going to go ahead and set some trial dates, because that will make sure everyone knows what to expect. We can move the trial up if needed. We can move it sooner if we've resolved all these issues. But for now, I need to move a couple things around. What I would like to do.
I think he's like a deer in headlights right now.
How long did Wadir, the first time around, were you able to conduct Wadir and jury selection in 2 days?
3 days, Judge. It took 3 days the first time around.
Oh, read between the lines, man. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
I'm looking
what
forward
I
to
would
that.
like to do is we can start jury selection on Thursday, September 5th, and potentially complete jury selection Thursday and Friday.
Yes, sir.
And
Judge, I think.
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. That'll work. That's fine with us, Judge. I mean, as far as the pretrial motions, I would ask the court to set up maybe a motion deadline so we can have, a line where everything gets filed before.
Yes, I'm about to do that. I'm about to do a number of dates right now. This was supposed to be a short hearing where I told you I'm staying on the case in light of the research that I've done.
Just want to answer that question there, Ty.
Oh, hold on. The one who lost and was demoted. She's talking about Danielle Malone. I don't know, but man, they'll be idiotic if they pull her back out.
I think they're talking about Penny.
I don't know, because Penny didn't get demoted. Penny got fired.
But the investigator lady who fed the story.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
going
that's
around
the one who
because
read the story.
because Penny didn't show up at trial, man. I think she's talking about Malone because of that. I mean, was she was the Oompa Loompa looking woman, man, in the nasty suit? I mean, or did she look like Ric Flair?
There's too many of them.
Don't get me wrong. Oh, by the way, yeah, just to give a little quick plug here, because we were supposed to have a merch shop opened yesterday, and the Ric Flair thing does come up in there. So that's what reminded me. But yeah, we have a merch shop that's going to be opening up where people, if they want to help support the cause.
Please tell me you have like a Vacillate or a
What's
Vacillate T-shirt.
Vacillate.
Yeah, vacillating.
Vacillate,
I haven't done that one yet. You know what? See, now you gave me an idea.
Vacillate.
So we'll have to, see what that one is.
Swazier, all day Swazier.
Swazier. We haven't done that one yet either. So, man, no, I'm down for that one too. The other one is, man, the whole fireball thing that's got to come up in there.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we're working on those things. There's a few of them that came up though that are. Oh,
you don't know what
I don't think
Fireball
Mr.
is?
Mansfield's going to be too happy. So.
Cool. Okay, let's keep going.
He put out a T-shirt with my.
Second was to see a bunch of dates. I recognize that I've left this September date a little soft, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to set this case for trial in September on September 5th. September 5th and 6th, that's a Thursday, Friday. That's going to be jury selection. I would like to hope that we can complete jury selection before we leave on Friday and start fresh on Monday morning with instructions and with basic instructions and opening statements. But if we need to continue on into Monday, I think that would be fine as well. I have blocked off until September 20th. I don't have any hearings. If we need the following week, I think I can get coverage for that following week if we need up to 3.5 weeks. You see, I think that date works good.
What you saying?
Saying it's fine with me. Sounds good.
I want you to put that down, sir, and make sure that you're aware that that's what I'm expecting trial will be. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to reset and rather put this case on for a pre-trial hearing in May. Okay, so the next date I set, and I'm going to go chronologically forward, is oh darn, I have a separate homicide case.
Oh darn.
Oh darn!
Another homicide.
Can't do it.
I have a
there,
murder
so,
case to deal with. Pesky murder.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, man, it's messed up down there
put
now.
this case on for a pre-trial hearing on June 17th at 1:30. Okay, that's going to be June 17th at 1:30.
What's happening on June 17th?
Pre-trial hearing.
It's another status hearing kind
Now
of thing.
and then.
Is that your next one?
I don't think so.
On all the motions.
We'll see.
Again, that's
Yeah,
just
I thought
going
it
to keep track of the case.
Because it's going to depend on these motions.
Again,
is what it's
right.
going to
What we open today is when these various motions are going to be set. I need to read them. I need to assess how much time or what witnesses, at least I believe, will be called. Look for an email from my judicial assistant because she may be asking you all these questions. Please advise, how much time needs, how much time the defense needs on this motion, so we can hopefully put everything together.
Judge, trial in Key West or trial in Marathon? I just was curious. Are we going to try it in Key West or try it in Marathon, Judge?
I was actually nice to Mansfield there and let him go.
I'm trying to work on that right now. I don't have an answer. The plan is for Key West. The plan would be to do all pre-trial litigation here in Marathon, and the trial would occur in Key West.
Okay.
Party on
We're just
guard.
going to have a much larger jury pool to pick from.
What are you saying?
And,
Nothing.
What I'm asking him here is because I have trouble getting the Zoom links from them.
Okay.
So, I keep on getting the wrong ones. So, man, it makes me late, which I'm trying to be on time.
The judge says he only has one. It's the same one he's had.
Yeah.
No, but
Well,
it's different today.
this
That was the
one
thing.
was
That's what he
special
said last
hearing.
time,
We'll
right?
never
I thought the
use
same
this stuff
thing,
again.
right? Nope, had
Yeah.
a different one today.
Okay.
Because of the docket that your case will never be on. I only set on this date because I knew I'd have an extra 10, 15 minutes to
That's
address
why it
a
was
couple
different
of
today.
issues in your case. And I wanted to do it sooner rather than later.
See, I'm trying.
Well, do you have in front of you
Doesn't help when they give me the wrong
this
Zoom
meeting
link.
ID, the one that is
Oh, that's fair.
936-5202? Always going to be the meeting code that starts with 936 and ends in 933 going forward. All right. So,
We'll tell him it's 2 days before. It's the 14th, not the 16th.
I've done that before.
Yeah, I know.
At 1:30 and be looking out. for
Matter of fact,
email
just this
from my
past week, I
official
called
assistant
in
so
on
we can
Thursday
get
when
scheduling
I
stuff
do my
easier.
Friday call-ins.
June 17th.
All right. That's all I have. Court will be at recess.
Thanks, Fred.
Lauren.
June 17th at 1:30, guys.
Yeah.
That's
May or
it.
June?
We're on.
Well, and that's assuming, okay, because you got to remember he's going to put in hearings for the motions,
Yeah.
right? So those are going to be emailed to me, man, from the court. So, man, we'll discuss those and figure out when we're going to do those.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some of those motions that, even the ones that are in, that are probably going to have a hearing for them, right?
Yeah.
So
It does seem like a fair while away. So with this response that you've put in now, right?
Right.
So assuming he looks at it in the meantime, assuming those exhibits come through,
right, which they will.
yeah.
That's not a
Okay.
problem. It's just there's a lot of them.
Yeah, okay. So a hearing you would think would be called in the meantime.
Well, okay. The thing is, I don't know what he's going to do as far as this goes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the response itself is pretty scathing, and I definitely have the supporting evidence and supporting law to go ahead and make this request, right? But what he's going to do about it, I don't know. It's up to him, But basically, the way I put it at the end, I was like, well, you can wait for the motion to dismiss, but it's just going to be more of this crap that's been coming from them,
Yes.
So it's like, okay, it's just, you want me to pile it on by giving you the motion to dismiss? Because there's more than enough right now to go ahead and dismiss it, so it's up to him. I think I got a shot at it. This guy, man, he seems like I said, he seems like he wants to do this legit. And if that being the case, he's going to be appalled,
Hopefully.
It's like, the things that they've done over the course of this case, man, they've committed numerous crimes, numerous acts of misconduct. It's absolutely outrageous, and that's why, man, most people have never seen a case like this. It's just, there's too much, they've gotten away with too much for too long,
So the document that we were looking at earlier, is it available for people to access?
Yeah, they can go to the clerk. Anybody can go to the clerk's site, man, and get it. We're going to have our website open in probably about another week. And all the documents, we're going to put all the documents back online like we had them. Because at one point we did, but so that, okay. So the $10,000 worth of, hold your ears, Lauren. The $10,000 worth of transcripts, man, we spent on Rory. Yeah, they'll be up there for free for everybody, so, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So much.
So Johan, yes, he was saying that in the first trial, but now there is actual physical evidence, correct?
Oh, there's lots of evidence. As far as what they've done, tons of it. It's just a matter of Jones didn't want to hear it, right? Jones, man, has been denying us, man, for years. Literally years. We put it right in front of him blatantly, and man, he would just deny it. Matter of fact, he actually, if you actually even noticed during the trial, when I bring out, and I was like, Your Honor, we have this issue to deal with. I mean, they committed fraud on the jury and fraud on the court. That's what that's called, right?
Yes.
It's not like I'm trying to make up a word. I mean, that's what it's actually called.
Yes.
And, and I was like, and I have the evidence to show it. And, and man, when I showed it to him, you notice he gets irate because he doesn't like the idea that, man, this misconduct is coming out, because his misconduct comes out too. That's the problem.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons he needed me convicted, right? He needs me convicted because, man, his misconduct comes out along with it, right? Because I have him back, man, all the way back to 2019, as far as, man, actual evidence against him, so, and that will be on our site too. And I mean, it was, and I think some of it's still on our channel. Lauren would know more about that. Which ones are on the links on our channel, the YouTube channel? There's some that are on the links up there. Some of the evidence we had, man, again, as far as that went.
Very little.
Yeah.
Very little.
Yeah. So the thing is, we have a ton of evidence, literally a mountain of it. And that was actually one of my points to Jones, when I did my JOA. It's like, I mean, we had 3 officers who all admitted to, man, setting me up with the CI and, CI in jail. It's like, how much evidence do we need? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got 3 officers who all said they did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I was just going to say that I'm going to make it available also to members of the channel who just and I'll also make it possible, easy for people to find it as well. Like it's public document.
Yeah.
It's just I'll provide the link also on my community.
It's
tab.
just we have more of them, right? Than it's on the court website. The court website has all their documents, right? But they don't have everything we do.
Sure.
So
I just mean the response document. Because
the response document.
Sometimes people find it difficult to.
I might actually put a link up to that in our channel too, just because, man, it is kind of important.
Do so. In fact, if you can put a link in private chat, I can just chuck the link into chat as well. Go for your life. Because I think it's important for people to just be able to have a read of it. It's not that long of a document.
18 pages.
17 pages. Yeah.
18.
But I was going to say, I'll put it on our Discord. I'll put it on community tab. I'll put it in chat if you can send me the link. Whilst it's not a very big document, it would have taken a while to go through.
There's some good things in there for people who actually watch the trial too, because some of the points I make in there with the case law, I mean, there's things they got away with, man, they shouldn't have. The judge and the prosecutors. That's why he gets thrown in there too. But the thing is the case law is pretty clear, and they gave me way too much time to look at it. So like now I might actually know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't know.
You know an awful lot more than most people do in your position. Exactly. So, and people keep saying, like, why would you not get a lawyer involved? What say it again, please, Ty.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, my original thinking with this, was because of the situation, right? That was the original thinking of this. But I got to admit, man, as I've been doing this, right, and this is why I haven't gone back to, I'm going to get an attorney, right? Or I'm going to bring our attorneys back or anything like that. Because as I'm going through it, and I'm actually, been doing the motion to dismiss, working on that big one, right? Well, I've been going through the case law, and I've been finding a lot of things that we could have done that we haven't, right? And this is when we had attorneys, right? And I think it goes back to the old adage that, you can't pay somebody to care about your ass more than you do. You know what I'm saying? It basically is what it is. Because, man, because I have to fight it myself now. Yeah, I'm digging deep, and I'm going into the, as much case law as I can find and trying to learn all the rules. Again, like when they kept out, was it the motion to suppress that Travis's attorney, filed, right? Okay. Yes. Well, when they filed that, so Travis said that everything he said on that stand is a lie, but the judge and Mansfield kept that out at trial. Right, trying to say that, no, that, that's attorney-client privilege. He's not going to be able to bring it in. You can't bring it in. It's not actually Travis's words, all this other crap, right? Which it is crap, by the way, because, man, now I've had time to look at the law. And the law, man, no, the law is very clear. It should have been, man, allowed as impeachment testimony because, was it 801 of the Federal Rules of Evidence, 801 2C, if you want to go there. 2C says that, man, a representative of the person, if they make that statement, then yes, man, you can go ahead and use it as impeachment testimony. It's an exception to hearsay. So, but, the judge should have known that, and so should have Mansfield. You know what I'm saying? But no, they used it to keep it out last time. So, and that nixes off all of Travis's testimony. So I'm wondering what they're going to do at trial, actually, because it's in that response. So I'm wondering what they're going to do and how they're going to bring Travis this time, because if he gets on the stand, I can actually put that in now. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually have the laws that let me do it. So we'll have to see what happens.
Okay,
And without Travis, what do they got?
So what do you say to someone like Alpha Fox who says you pay for someone to understand, apply the law better than you?
That's true. And man, that might be a thing if they actually had a case. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, look, I mean, if they actually had evidence, if they actually had a case, if I was actually in trouble as far as that went, yeah, having a lawyer probably be a really good idea. But when straight up, when all they have is Travis and I can nix him off, what the hell do I need a lawyer for? I mean, at this point, man, they have no evidence. They have zero. They're walking in there with their hope in their hand, and man, I'm walking in there with all the evidence on my side. So,
haven't you said before, though, that part of the reason is that a lawyer can be like sanctioned? They can be.
Yeah. That's why I did it originally. Because with a dirty judge, that was a different story though. You got a dirty judge, right? Okay, how do you beat a dirty judge? That's a problem, right?
Okay.
And then they control everything, right? So, and if a lawyer tries to stand up to a dirty judge like I did during that JOA, a lawyer would have got sanctioned so fast it wasn't even funny. You know what I'm saying? But man, but I can get up there and be the dancing monkey, and I can, man, put him on blast in front of everybody, and man, he can't really do much. You know what I'm saying? So, because what? Go ahead, disbar me. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
So that was the original motivation.
That was the original thinking behind it. It was literally to deal with Jones, and I needed those cameras there, right? Because without the cameras, I have nothing to keep Jones honest, right? There's nothing that's going to make him, man, try and be honest. With the cameras there, at least he tried up until the JOA. But if you notice after that, it accelerates, man. That's when he kills off my entire defense, and man, it just, man, goes right to close. All that, man, he accelerates after the JOA. And but the thing is, I mean, with an attorney, no, attorneys couldn't do the same thing, right?
Yes.
I mean, with them, they're going to be like, okay, well, we'll just stack up information for appeal. That was like the best advice I got from an attorney, is that he would take down the, notice the, what the judge was actually doing, or whatever, misconduct he was doing, for appeal. Like, I really want to go to appeal, get convicted and go to appeal.
Oh, no, you don't want that.
No,
okay,
I'm not a losing mentality.
Hypothetical question, right? So if we were to get all the way to, say, September or whenever the trial date ends up being, and you're really happy with this judge, you think he's a really fair guy,
right?
And you were to go, okay, like this judge, I actually think that he's nothing like the last one,
right.
And I actually think now that at this point I've gotten this far. I've rolled the dice as far as I can go. Maybe now, beforehand.
Well, there's also other considerations here. If you're going to go to man hiring attorneys, because, man, remember the money. The money's
I know the money. I know, but you could end up in prison for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but $200 grand's a lot of money.
Okay.
So I mean, don't get me wrong.
I'm just putting it out there.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. But here's the other thing with that too. And man, I did actually put myself with a safety net somewhat, right? Because one of the motions that I put in is, man, a motion to modify the terms of my pro se, right?
Yeah.
Because when the order came through, if you remember correctly, Jones didn't let me have standby counsel, and Jones didn't actually. He wouldn't even let my advisors sit at the table with me. Right. That's why you see me on the phone all the time, man, sitting there texting with my advisors, right? Or texting with Lauren, trying to get her to send me something, But the thing is, so I'm on the phone, man, sitting there texting instead of having them right there. Right. Which they're much more effective if they're sitting with me at the table.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So the most
people were asking, how come you couldn't have someone next to you?
Well, I literally saw you grabbing your phone at times, texting very like trying to, like, what does this mean? Or can you?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because there's look. I mean, look, I know how to read and I can study and all that other stuff, but man, I mean, to literally become a lawyer and man, 4 months is not, no,
That's hard.
it's not, I mean, I'm
And you did great.
I'm not that good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can, I can study and everything, but it's not, I wasn't going to do that. I definitely needed them for the, advice for, different things. And I definitely checked in with them during lunch, stuff like that.
Sure.
And we talked about different things, stuff like that. But standby counsel, I've come to think now, just what I just told you about, okay, I'm starting to think, think a little differently now just because I've gone through the experience, right? And I'm like, okay, I think standby counsel, if you have the ability to go pro se, right, which not everybody does, but if you do, yeah, I mean, pro se with standby counsel is, man, probably the best you can get as far as defense, because you've got somebody there who knows the law, somebody who can actually knows procedure, all that. And then you've got somebody who knows the case better than they do. Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, anybody who's coming up for, any criminal trial, right? Trust me, they study the case like a mother, they study it, man, better than, man, any lawyer is ever going to. I mean, Lauren can attest to that. She knows how much, man, we put into, man, looking at information in the case, trying to figure everything out, how many hours we put in, so you got the best of both worlds then, basically, you got somebody who knows the case and somebody who knows the law, And I also think just morally, in a sense, it's kind of better because, okay, going pro se with standby counsel, the pro se defendant is literally like lead counsel. It's almost like going co-counsel, only your lead, right?
Yeah.
Which I agree with because, okay, guess what? In the end, that lawyer gets to go home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's your butt that's on the line. And man, for real, yeah, I like being able to decide what's going to happen to my butt. So it's like, so yeah,
It's
I
your
think
butt.
that's a good, just even morally, I think it's better, in a sense.
Okay, I'm pleased we had that discussion because because especially you going back to your original decision to go pro se in the first place, because that was a different situation.
It was
like that
totally.
was with and you were facing something that was a completely different set of circumstances. I'm so pleased now that
I'll be
you're
honest
not
with you. I
facing
did
that.
not think I was going to win. I'll tell you that straight up. I didn't think I was going to win.
No,
I went in there, man, knowing that, man, that was definitely a possibility.
You took a gamble.
A very distinct possibility,
Yeah.
But I thought it was the best chance I had against a dirty judge. That's what it was.
And wow, you did amazingly well, and you surprised so many people. And I'm glad. Thank you for answering that question, because I mean that was 3-4 streams back, and there was that, whether people agree with you or disagree with you, it was a measured decision on your part to do it for that reason.
No, it was a strategic decision, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you didn't just go, oh, I'm going to represent myself.
Oh yeah, because there were those people out there
star.
thought, oh, he's just a narcissist. He just wants to be on TV and
That's
blah blah
what people
blah.
That's what I thought.
Oh, like, hell no, I don't want to be up here.
First, I mean, yeah, go like the first. I learned of you is the first day I watched your opening, and I was like, huh, this guy's opening was better than the state.
Yeah, well, of course, that's what people said.
A little weird. Okay,
of course, that's
kind
what people said.
Interested, and it was just like,
yeah. All right,
well,
Becca
man,
Lynn,
I had to follow Darnell, so man, it's like, I mean, everybody was like, oh man, here comes another Darnell Brooks.
I know.
I can't wait to watch this one crash and burn and all this other shit.
Riley Young is another one.
All right, thanks for the vote of confidence, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. But right, you know what? It didn't really matter. I
need
had
to thank
do it
Becca
either way,
Lynn.
so it didn't make no difference.
I need to thank Becca Lynn for all the reasons, not just because she just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Becca Lynn. You're just fantastic.
Yep.
And I'll call out Becca Lynn, gifted to Johan Bienvenu, Malcolm Wilhelm. Oh, not Malcolm Wilhelm. Oh, yes, he was. TYO Toys. You're awesome, TYO Toys. Josie. Who else? Can't see the other ones. Anyway, anyone who got a gifted membership, make sure that you click through to our Discord and join all the fun in there. We have some great discussions in there and just generally have fun. Becca Lynn, you're just amazing. Thank you for introducing us to these two wonderful people, and the discussions that we've been having with these guys over the last few months have been great. And I just can't thank you enough for all the things that you do for our community. You are involved in so many of the things that we do. and just you're wonderful, Becca. We love you.
Yeah,
We just
Becca's,
love you.
you know, Becca's amazing.
She's very
She is.
special. She's
Yeah.
very special.
She's been a lot of help, that's for sure.
She has been a help to you guys, hasn't she?
Yep.
And support.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, all kinds of different things. She was actually one of the first people I talked to during trial. It's funny because
Really?
when I was actually at trial,
Wow.
she was one of the first people to talk to me. And man, you know, she was like telling me to go over to one of the channels and
Recovery
go
addict.
there and try and get a feel for, man, how everybody was thinking and all that other stuff. And you know, it's like, but unfortunately,
That's fantastic.
I did. I actually went and looked at it, but they didn't like me very much in there. But not only that, I really didn't have a lot of time for that. I didn't have a lot of time to go and gauge everybody's response. You know, it's like every night I was going back to the hotel and I'm just like slamming, man, freaking trying to get ready for the next day. You know, and you know, it's just because it was kind of like a crash course in a sense. You know, it's like, you know,
Well, you survived the
but
first
don't get me wrong, I learned better by doing anyway. So it's
absolutely,
you know, and that's why I feel a lot more comfortable even with the idea going into a second trial because look, I've done it once. It's not like I'm going to be nervous going into voir dire this time. You know, it's like I know the process.
Voir dire.
Voir dire.
Oh, look,
everybody spells or pronounces it different. I just
it's going wrong. Yeah, I'm from Philly. We pronounce things differently, yo.
Yo.
So, and the night in question, per se, Your Honor.
2 Utes.
Yeah, if I went in there like that, I think I'd have a problem.
Now, actually, someone was saying something to me about this whole voir dire or whatever it is process, and also just the whole idea of going into trial again if it gets that far. And I know that like everything costs a lot of money. You're probably going to need an expert witness or something like that at some point. You're going to have to hire an expert, maybe.
We actually had them at one point, and actually, unfortunately, one of them told me he wouldn't do it if I was going to be pro se. He actually backed out because I was pro se.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
kidding me?
He was the interrogation expert, right? Because we had an interrogation expert to deal with Phelps, man, her garbage, man, with the whole, you know, basically a little spin she was putting on all the suspects, the actual suspects, the co-defendants or whatever, you know, but how she, you know, talked Travis into it, how she, you know, literally talked, you know, Lori into it, that whole, you know, tell me something about, you know, Ty's the bad guy, tell me something about Ty, you know, that whole crap.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, what I was going to say is someone mentioned to me that you can hire an expert to help you with the voir dire process.
So that's an art form.
Sounds
straight
really
up, that's a whole art form, that thing.
Yeah.
They have nothing. They have attorneys. That's all they do. You know.
Yes.
Just pick juries.
Yes.
Kyle Rittenhouse hired the jury consultant for O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah, no, that sounds really interesting to me. So I just wondered whether
that's all they do is they pick juries. That's all, you know. That's
it's a huge art form. It is reading people.
And after doing it once, well, I've actually done it twice. This is the second time I've done it. The first time did not go so well for me, but you know, this time around it was actually, because the first time it wasn't the same kind of case. But the thing was they hated me right off the rip. But this one, man, it was kind of interesting because it was 150 people we went through, and man, we went through a whole process of doing this. And really, the people I picked, I mean, I had to fight for, man, some of these people. Like, they were trying to stack me with all white men. That's what they tried to stack me with, right? And I was like, oh, hell no, I want some women on the jury, you know. So I'm like fighting to actually keep women on the jury, you know what I mean? So the women we had on the jury, oh yeah, those were all my picks, guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, because like, no, look, I'm not trying to be racist or sound racist or anything like that, but man, all Caucasian white men, man, equals guilty all the time. You know?
Guilty.
No, I wasn't trying to do it.
There are
Um,
exceptions, but yes.
Yeah, it's just I'm just looking at statistics here. That's all.
If I
Wow.
was facing a jury of white men, I'd be shaking in my boots. Okay.
Yeah, me too. So man, that's why I was fighting, and that's actually how we got the one Latino guy that was on there too.
Oh, thank God.
Right? So it's like, all the minorities, man. I was fighting for him. I'm like, come on, man. And you know what's messed up though? Out of those 150 people, we had 2 black people. That was it. Out of those 150.
Wow.
Right. And then
Wow.
they didn't even get close to being picked. One of them, man, had some, prior engagement. And then the other one was way behind in the back. So, man, he was never getting picked, So it's like, yeah, the thing is, man, I went with my gut for the most part, about these people when we asked some questions. Judge goes through his questions. The state goes through theirs. I go through mine. And, man, I was just using my gut, man, being like, okay, this person feels, this way or that way. But I can definitely see the whole art form behind it, man. The people who do it for a living like that, oh man, they go through all those statistics, man. And yes, I'll tell you right now, and one of them going to let you get a whole jury, man, of all white men. You know what I'm saying? They will all recommend against that. So.
Sure, but I mean, this is your life you're playing with, so it's just a thought. It's just a thought. All right, we're going to close it up now. Thank you guys so much, and
I love
been
seeing
wonderful,
you guys.
wonderful
That's
talking to you
up.
again. And listen, all the best. It's been a huge day. You guys deserve a big rest and a glass of wine or whatever it is that you like to have. But all the best.
How
and
often you see me this happy? It's
that is true. This is the happiest he's been in a while.
You seem pretty pleased right now. You seem pretty pleased. Tell us when the next hearing comes up. Otherwise, we'll assume it's in June, but I'm pretty sure there'll be one before that. But yeah, all the best to you. Much love. Guys, we're going to rate Danny Ann Direct, so make sure you say EU rate. Yes?
EU rate? Is that what you said?
EU rate, hella rate.
EU, because I'm excited.
Oh, yeah, EU? Yeah, gotcha.
Right, yeah.
We got you. Matter of fact,
Great,
I even put you guys in the original video that's on the channel. I put it out, and we're going to be on it. Excited utterance later, man. So check us out there.
That's awesome.
So
Thank you so much.
We got you.
You guys are awesome.
Love you guys and all the best. And let's just hope that the very next one is like the judge is going, this is stupid. Let's just dismiss this whole thing. That should be it, I reckon. That'll be the end of it. Okay, bye everybody. Have a good one. See you over
on
on
guys.
Danny's
We'll see you
channel.
later.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you.